The story begins on a cold night. Outside, the Christmas spirit was all around, but inside the house, fear was about to knock. A little girl came into her mother's room and, in a frightened tone, said, "Mummy, there is someone on the roof." The mother laughed at first, joking. "Oh, it must be me, son. Christmas is coming, isn't it?" She took the child in her lap and carried her to her bed. She lovingly stroked her head and said, "Go to sleep. I'll bring you a gift tonight." The mother left the room, but the child's unease continued. A moment later she heard footsteps on the roof again. She got up from bed, slowly made her way to the stairs, and as she reached the living room, her eyes widened in surprise. There was a man standing in front of her, but this man was different. There was no sparkle in his eyes. It was dark. There was no smile, only a terrifying silence. The child, terrified, ran to her brother's room. She tries to wake him up. "Brother, wake up, S.A. is here." But he doesn't. The girl is left alone. Meanwhile, S.A. slowly reaches into his bag, and what he pulls out isn't a toy, but a terrifying weapon. It wasn't C.A., it was Art the Clown. What happened next was enough to shake humanity. Art goes upstairs, enters the child's room, and what he does to him is beyond words. He then goes to the parents' room and brutally kills the father. The mother wakes up and runs screaming. But when she reaches her son's room, her world has been shattered. Her son is now in pieces. She runs, but the clown comes from behind and attacks her, biting her body until she dies. Then, with the same innocence, he goes into the kitchen. As if nothing had happened, he picks up the cookies and eats them. Then another voice comes, the girl's she has hidden herself. But now her voice has given her location to the clown, and she too is killed. The story then takes us back 5 years. A police officer arrives at the scene where Sienna killed Art in the previous film. He is investigating, but Art appears from behind and beheads him. Art then goes to the hospital to pick up Victoria. There, after killing a staff member, he catches a train with Victoria. On the train, a man in a suit jokes and laughs. But little does he know that death is waiting for him. Art kills him too and puts on his suit. Victoria and Art then arrive at an old building where they devise a different plan. We then return to the present, where Sienna has now been discharged from the mental hospital. Her uncle has come to pick her up. Returning home, she meets her cousin Gabe and her aunt Angela. Everyone is happy, but something is unsettling Sienna. Work is about to begin in the same building where Victoria and Art were hiding. 2 workers come to inspect. One reaches Victoria, the other Art, and both die a painful death. 5 years later, Art and Victoria resumed playing hole with blood. The story takes an even more dangerous turn. The scene shifts and we see Sienna sitting at the dinner table with her uncle and Gabe. While eating, she suddenly looks at the door. There she sees her old friend, the one she killed with her own hands. Sienna's face turns pale. This wasn't a dream. It wasn't even a hallucination. It was the guilt, still a part of her body. She remembers she didn't take her medicine. She immediately gets up, goes to her room, and takes it. Then she calls her brother Jonathan. It hadn't been a long time since she spoke to him. Sienna says, "I am back. I am at Uncle's house. I want to see you." Jonathan responds somewhat reluctantly. "I check in after school elsewhere. Art is developing something dangerous. A new weapon that resembles a freezer. It can instantly freeze anyone with a spray." Art is overjoyed at the sight of this machine, and then he sets out to destroy the oasis of innocence. Once again, we are shown a bar where some people are partying. A certain Sa Claus is sitting there, having fun with everyone. Just then Art, now dressed as Sa, arrives. Art approaches, S.A. smiles strangely and suddenly urinates on him. The entire bar is stunned. Say, enraged, pushes Art away. The barkeepers begin beating Art and throwing his belongings out. But this mistake was not against a human being but against a demon. The next moment Art draws his gun and begins firing inside the bar. 2 people fall down and then he captures S.A. and ties him to a chair. Now the real game begins. Art takes a spray from his bag, the same freezer spray. He sprays it on Say's legs, then his hands, and then breaks those arms and legs. Say's screams echo through the room. Then Art sprays Say's face and rips out his beard. The scene was so brutal that it would send shivers down the spine of any viewer. Cut to a mall scene here. A real SAA is getting photographed with children. Sienna and Gabby have also come to the same mall for shopping. But Sienna's eyes fall on another Sa. Sienna sees a man standing outside, seeing his gait, his silence, and everything. Sienna realizes it is Art and she is terrified. Inside the mall, the fake man sits among the children. As soon as the children take a gift from his bag, there is a massive explosion. The walls of the mall shake. The children are killed on the spot and Art just stands there smiling, as if death is mocking him. Meanwhile, Sienna brings a gift and tries to hide it. But Gabby arrives. Sienna lies, saying it is for Gabby. Just then, the news comes on television. Sienna's heart trembles at the news of the mall blast. Her fears have now been confirmed. Art has returned. She immediately tells her uncle to call Jonathan. Uncle calls and tells Jonathan that he is coming to pick her up. But time passes and Uncle doesn't return. Sienna hears someone coming into the house. She goes downstairs and there stands Art and Victoria. Now begins the real massacre, the screams of which echo throughout the next episode. Sienna screams, but Art pounces on her and forcibly ties her to a chair. Her Aunt Angela is also tied up nearby. The atmosphere of the room is filled with fear and the stench of death. Victoria steps forward and tells Sienna, "You brought a gift for Gabby, didn't you?" Alas, now she'll never be able to open it. A box is placed in front of her. As the paper is removed, it reveals Gabby's corpse. Her face is so badly mutilated that it is beyond recognition. Sienna's screams don't stop. There is fire in her eyes, not tears. Now it is Angela's turn. Art picks up a glass bottle and forces it into Angela's mouth, then hits her from behind with a hammer, a horrific meat cleaver. Now Sienna is alone. Victoria goes to her and says, "I want your body, I'll be swallowed up. But before that, I have a gift for you." Art brings a box containing a living prisoner. Sienna breathes a sigh of relief. But then a pair of glasses are placed on the pauper's face, and Sienna realizes it is Jonathan. Her own brother was killed by these brutes. Filled with anger and grief, Sienna screams, but she can't do anything because she is a victim. Victoria begins to possess his body, slowly grasping Sienna's throat, trying to crush her spirit. But Sienna refuses to give up. Just then, Art puts a knife to Gabby's throat, threatening to kill her if Sienna doesn't give up her body. Sienna says, "Okay, I am ready to give my body, but first I want to give Gabby a gift." Victoria opens the box. Inside is the sword Sienna brought with her. As soon as she takes the sword, the whole game changes. In an instant, she attacks Art, then Victoria, knocking her down. But Art rises again, this time armed with a chainsaw. A fierce battle ensues between the two. Blood splatters, screams, and the sound of death echo around every corner. Victoria runs open a door to a hallway and Gabby is about to fall. But Sienna rushes to her rescue. Sienna tries to pull her away, but she slips from his grasp and falls. Silence reigns. After a moment, Sienna opens her eyes. She sees Art and Victoria's bodies missing from the room. They're gone. This means they're alive. The scene cuts to a bus stop. Art is sitting on a bench. A bus arrives and he boards. Inside, a girl trembles at the sight of him. Art takes out his flashlight and points directly at her eyes. Cut to black. This is the end of the horrific, sensational story of Terrifier 3. But it is not over. This is the beginning of a new ending.